Middle Path Radio, your number one online Islamic talk station.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. We start with praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we say alhamdulillah. Everyone say alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. We say alhamdulillah for everything that Allah ta'ala has given us that was not obligatory upon Him. So all of these things that you have in your life, Allah did not have to give it to you. So I'm telling you right now, stop taking what you have for granted. That's for baby boy, that's for bigger boy, that's for young man, for grown man, and for old man. Stop taking what you have for granted. And if anyone is speaking in this session, you laughing, little joke between yourself, I got one rule, is that you have to come and share the joke with the whole audience. Because where I'm from, man, we don't play with respect, especially from our youth. So, I want to tell you today, don't disrespect your elders. For all of you young ones, I will not let you disrespect me. Clear? Good. Inshallah. So we say alhamdulillah. And then we send a complete and the perfect salat and salam upon our Master Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and his companions and his Muslim nation, which is all of us, every single one of us, from what he feared for us, and that was sin, disobedience to God subhanahu wa ta'ala in any way whatsoever. It's important to mention this. Why? Because all of us are different. All of us have differences in our good virtues, and all of us sin differently, but we all sin. And to know that none of you or me are better or worse than the next Muslim for the good or for the bad that you do. In reality, you should say alhamdulillah if it's good that Allah has blessed you with. You should say astaghfirullah if it's bad that you have on you now. I see some of the youth, alhamdulillah, and then I see some young people, vibrant. I see you. You remind me of some of the kids in America. I'm looking at your clothes, I'm looking at your haircuts. Alhamdulillah. You're reminding me of home a little bit, New York City style. Really. And then I see a few young men who aren't so young anymore, but they're not considered amongst the elders yet. They're a little bit wiser than you. They've been through a little bit more than you've been through. They're not gray yet. They're not tired of that, and their backs are still strong. I suggest, young boy, connect to him, because he's going to be the bridge between you and uncle. Your big brother, your big cousin, the one who's 5, 6, 7 years older than you, connect to him. Why? Because he just went through everything that you're going through. And for all of the baby boys, anyone who's not mukallaf yet, you're not pubescent yet, right? Those older boys, 14, 15, 16, 17, they're mukallaf now. Their bodies, they're feeling like men, you know? They look like men, they got muscles like men. You don't have a man's mind yet. But nonetheless, you're feeling this way. What I want to tell you is, young boy, connect to him. Connect to him. Because he's going to serve as a bridge between you and your father. But let me tell you something to all of the teenagers, to all of my little brothers, right? Who we would just say, like when I say young boy, that's what we mean, right? Young boy, 8th, 9th, 10th grade, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like that. You're a young boy, right? Right now, you play the most important part in our Jamaats. All of our congregations, you young boy, you play the most important part. I'm telling you. You wanna know why? Yeah or no? Yes. Do you wanna know why? Yes. Okay, don't be stale, man. MashaAllah. I say don't disrespect me, but please show me some love, man, you know? You're the most important, and it's something that I didn't realize until I became an older young man. And we were young in our youth. There were some things that we did that I'm not proud to mention, and I didn't know how repulsive it was until some baby boys who looked up to us, they'd done the same thing. And by Allah, I pray that He forgives us for that. You are free. You're free. You don't know what I mean. What you mean, Ibn Ali, when I say you free? You ain't a baby boy no more. Your dad don't gotta hold your hand across the street no more. Your mom ain't picking out your clothes. She feeding you every day. She's not picking out your clothes. No one's making a decision to make sure you get to class. No one's making a decision to make sure you study and remember Quran on the pace that you're supposed to. Nobody's over your back, really. Yeah, your father tells you this, your father tells you that. I get it. But he's not on your back, not really. You're free in that aspect. You're not a baby boy. You don't have to be courted around everywhere that you go. And on the flip side, you ain't paying no bills, bro. You ain't paying not one bill at all. Not a cell phone bill, not rent, not electric, not cable. Bills is the same all around the world, right? Like American bills, UK bills, I ain't got no difference in it, right? Right? You ain't paying nothing. You got luxury. You free. You getting a free ride right now. You just wake up and do what you do. Man, at that point in my life, I wish I had known that I was free. Why? Because for men, there's gonna come a time in your life where you're not gonna be free anymore. You're gonna be responsible for women and children. Like your fathers are responsible for all of you and all of your mothers. So right now, where you are, you're still in a position to make a decision. You can make a decision about your life right now. Don't you know that, yo? Right now, you can make a decision on who you want to be. Your father, he doesn't have this luxury, bro. You know what your father's decisions are? He wakes up, alhamdulillah, little tahajjud, some Quran, fajr, boom. After that, he's out the door. He don't even have to think about it. He gotta go. If he don't go, if he don't work, you don't eat. I get it, everyone knows Allah's ar-Razik, right? That the sustenance comes from Allah. You get that. Raise your hand if you understand that all of your sustenance comes from Allah. Everyone understands that. Yeah, and for the majority of us, through the means of your father. So I'm telling you, young boy, I'm starting off with you for a particular reason. Because I fear for you the most. And I feel like the community at large, we don't support you enough. There are some things that you may be afraid to say. Because you're a young boy. I was there just a couple years ago. I'm only 27. I was just there, afraid to express myself. Because I didn't know how to express myself and say what was real without being disrespectful. And then I grew up and I said, wow, man, the men who are older than me, they actually understood way more than I knew they did. All I had to do was go to them and express myself. So what we need you to do, two things. Stop fronting. Stop fronting. Stop putting on this face for your mom and your dad and then going outside and doing something else. Stop fronting, yo. Don't let me catch you. I call you bluff, straight up. Straight up, I call you bluff. Stop fronting, yo. Stop leaving your house trying to act like the American kids. Stop doing that, man. Stop throwing away everything that you have, that your parents have built for you to have, man. Going around your boys. All you want to do is joke and laugh all the time. Joke, joke, joke. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Really, stop playing so much. We counting on you, man. We counting on you. Look around, young boy. Young boy, if you consider yourself a young boy, right now, flip your head around this room. For me, all of y'all young boys, flip your head around the room. Really, flip your head, look around. You see everybody in here? I see everybody in here, right? Yeah, everybody in here counting on you. You know, in 10 years, 15 years, I'm telling you, man, y'all gotta take care of all of us. But the fear for me is I'm not sure if you find honor in that. I'm not sure. And what becomes the greater fear is that one of these baby boys perhaps they're going to be more like you than they want to be like their fathers. So I told you it's two things. We need you to keep it real with the elders. We need you to really tell them really what's going on. We need you to tell them your thoughts and what you're feeling so they can help you process. Because really, you know what you're feeling, but you can't even put it in the right frame of mind. You need a man to help you with that. So please, young boy, don't be arrogant. Don't be arrogant. Don't be arrogant with your elders. You take that advice and restrict them your advice. And find role models in them. And really, really strive for their love and for their acceptance. You want all the older men to say, those are our young lads. That's how they say it, right? No? No, that's not it? MashaAllah. You want all of the older men to say, look at them. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. That's what you want them to do. You don't want them to look at you and say, where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? I get it. I know everybody's mom and dads are working. I get it. I get it. But it's a reason why they're pushing you in religion, because they didn't get the chance. They didn't get the chance. You know they came to the West to get money, right? To provide a better life for you. Who don't know that? If you don't know that, raise your hand. Yeah, the majority of our parents, they came to the West to get the money. So we won't have to suffer how they did when they were growing up. Really, your dad working 15, 16, 17 hours a day. Ramadan. Still grinding every day. And you want to play games and joke so much. What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you, man? Don't you see the bounties of your Lord upon you, man? Really? So please, you do whatever you have to do for the elders of this community to be pleased with you. All the physical work belongs to you. They should never take out trash. They should never clean. They shouldn't do anything at this particular point except come, teach, and financially support. That's it. The brunt of the work that has to be done with our hands in your community, it needs to be done by you. Straight up. Straight up. So that's first thing. And the second thing, you have to be a good example for these baby boys, man. You have to be a good example for these baby boys, man. When I was coming up, I wanted to be like my big brother, period. My brother was the coolest, I gotta tell you, yo. My brother, man, nah, man, knockout, man. Really, man. My brother was the coolest, man. He had cornrows, right? Coming all the way down, you know what I'm saying? Rock his Timbs with his cargo pants, real big white t-shirt. Y'all seen the old American stuff, right? Yeah, that's my big brother. MashaAllah, and I love him to death. And I love him to death. Even if I had to prove that with death. My big brother. And I'm telling y'all, some of these young boys, they look up to y'all the same way. Please, man, don't lead them astray. Please, man. Like, I'm begging you, bro. Don't lead them astray, man. Word up, man. They think you're cool. They think you're hip. They think you all that. Word up. Word up. They want to be like y'all. Y'all don't even know because y'all trying to be like somebody else. Really, not for fake, that's the truth. But I'm telling y'all, they want to be like y'all. So please, man, don't show them a false image of what a man is. And the only way you can do that is by following the image of a man that your father put in front of you. Simple. So we good on that? If we good on that, say alhamdulillah. That was weak, bro. That was mad weak, bro. Yo, we in East London, right? You know how to be like, I'm talking to all of you, but I'm also having another conversation right here with my good brother, whom I met, and I didn't meet him, we didn't shake hands until we got in the building, but when I was coming up right in front of Tesco, he has a shop, a table stand, you know? And I seen the table stand, and mashallah, it was beautiful. I seen you packing up. I heard the Quran playing. I was with Maruf's father, uncle, who drove us all the way from Birmingham. And I got there, I heard the Quran. I said, yo, because London is, I didn't know we were in the back of the mosque. So I didn't see the front, the beautiful East London Mosque. I didn't see it yet. We were just in the back, so it looks gritty a little bit. And I seen you, and I heard Quran playing, and I was like, yo, where's that coming from, right? And mashallah, and then I seen you, someone called your phone, and you picked the phone, and the Quran stopped. I said it came from him. And but it reminded me, I seen the, it was dark outside, so I couldn't tell. I was like, is that a black guy? Like, is that, you know, because I didn't like, you know, I seen the Adidas, right? But in America, that stand you have, literally black Americans, like during the time Malcolm X, you guys heard of all of that stuff, right? So, and we're gonna touch into this a little bit, but I gotta give you some context, right? Because one thing that I've noticed since I've been here and everyone I've been speaking to, no one really knows about what happened to the black Americans, man, really. And you know how many people ask me, brother, when did you become a Muslim? I'm thinking to myself, dude, I was born Muslim. Me, my brother, my cousins, I don't know, like all of us were born Muslim, right? And our parents, they converted in the 80s. And some of them, there were even elders who converted before that, but there have been Sunni Muslims practicing Sunni Muslims, not like Nation of Islam, but practice Sunni Muslims in America, literally, dude, since the early 1900s. As far back as we can date. But no, we've always been there. And it's funny because I see, like here, they don't even say black, right? They'll say Somalian or Ethiopian, like that, you know? And for me, man, that's really neat because at home, man, it's black, it's white, like that, you know? You might see a group of brothers who are from Pakistan, and you might just be like, all the Bengalis. Just, y'all know what's up. I'm not, you know? So this idea of race at home, man, is still a pretty much big deal, you know? And I didn't even know how much that I was caught up into that until I got outside of that and be around a group of people who are not too much beat on that, you know? And I'm telling you, so when I seen you, the table stand, what it represents for us, because we were riding up the street and the uncle asked me, it was some guy, he seemed like a poor guy. He had all these pots and pans and different things. They were all like on the ground, on the floor. And I was like, wow, like, they still do that out here. He said, nah, don't do that in America. I said, nah, man, not anymore. Not like that. America's gentrified, straight up. All the urban cities, all those hoods you heard about, some of them still exist, but the majority of them, they're knocking them down, putting a beautiful building right in the middle of where they used to live, separating them all, right? And they'll never let that happen again, you know? So I said, nah, not like that. But then when we got in front of Tesco, right? I seen you. I said, nah, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. And I gotta tell you, so for us, when we wanted to escape that oppression, right? Because you know, like, the blacks are oppressed in America, right? You got that. So when we wanted to escape the oppression, we said, you know what? Straight up, we're Muslims. We're gonna wear our clothes, right? We're gonna set up our own businesses. We're gonna buy only from us and support only us. And we did that, and it worked. And the majority of the businesses, they put them, we call them the avenues. What y'all call them? Like the main strips, main streets. High Street. So we got high streets, right? We call them avenues. That always say for short, the Ave. Everybody say the Ave. Yeah. My people at home gonna appreciate that, right? So anyone at home may see this video later. We call it the Ave. They call it high streets. MashaAllah. So the Ave, literally, there's stores, and then you see a bunch of black Muslims, man, with stands. With whatever you need all the way down the avenue. And growing up, it's like, when I come to the Ave, before I even step foot in the store, I'm going past every single stand to make sure they have what I need first before I go in the store and buy from somebody else other than us. So really, what you represent, man, is something so beautiful, you know? And I think in business, the way that the West has us, we're so afraid to not be colonialized. We're so afraid to not like put on the khakis and the plaid shirt, right? And go get the job. We're afraid of that. We're so afraid of that. They got us tricked because raise your hands if you agree that all of your sustenance comes from Allah. But if a man really understood that, if he really understood that, man, he would have no fear going out there on that stand every single day. Really. And it's even gotten to the point where at home, some people see it as degrading. Like, oh, you're going to be on that stand, get an education. Like that, you know? Really, I'm telling you, not for joking. I don't know if it is like that. Is it like that here? No? Nah, yeah, alhamdulillah. So when I seen you though, man, I was really, I was like, wow, man. It's funny because the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, right? Because they were merchants. That's how they did it. Like, you know, like they would go like Byzantine, this place, that place, set up their spice. They'll put their goods, boom, 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 like this. And then you know how the marketplace would be. It'd be some people from here, some people from Syria, some people from like that. And then they would come around, they'd be trading like that. So really, when you think of the souk of the Prophet ﷺ, the marketplace that he originally created, right? That's how it was, you know? And so I see the stores and all of that. But when I see you, man, I'm most happy because that's really the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, how we should buy and trade. That's it, you know? And mashallah, so that was good seeing you. And the point that I'm making is, when I came in, I shook his hand, and you know what that man did? He introduced me to his son and to his nephew. You don't see any importance in that, do you? I do. I see a son and a nephew who are going to understand that Allah is Ar-Razik, who's going to understand that I don't have to be how they want me to be in the West. I don't have to conform. I don't have to be like this. I don't have to be like that, if they're paying attention. If they're paying attention. And if they are paying attention, I pray that you spend your time learning this religion, because your father is spending the time to make sure that you have the money to have the comfort to learn this religion. So please do your part. Inshallah. So alhamdulillah, today's topic was supposed to be a time for change. Who wants a change? You want to make a change? Nobody? Everybody? Or somebody? One body? Really? Okay, that's about half. MashaAllah. Let me see. 2, 4, 6, 8. It's 9. So that's 10 on that wall. So 10, 20, 30, 40, say 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 120, 130, 140, 100. It's about between 150, 180 people in this room right now. I'm bad at math, but you can count it up. That's what's here, right? So out of that amount of people, how many of y'all want to see a change? Okay, mashallah, I want to make a change, mashallah. Okay. The question that I have is, what change do you want to see? Do you want to see a change in others? If you would like to see a change in others, raise your hand. It's okay, you can. Yo, it's no, man, if I'm here, yo, it's a no judgment zone, right? There's no right, there's no wrong. I mean, unless it comes to religion, there's clear set rules that we don't play with. But personality and this and that, right? No right, man, no wrong, man, you know? So everyone in here is your brother in Islam, even if you just met him today. So there's a level of comfortableness and there's a level of vulnerability that you're allowed to display with them. Nobody in here trying to hurt you, man. Nobody in here trying to hurt you. Everybody in here, they pray the same time you pray every day, their whole life. Trust me. Inshallah. Trust me. You pray Fajr, they were somewhere in the world praying Fajr too. You pray Isha, guess what? He was somewhere in the world praying Isha too. Simple, bro. So really, we're connected. Really, we're connected. So drop the shyness, man. We all men here, right? Drop the shyness, man. So if you want to see a change within others, raise your hand. Okay. A little less than half. If you want to see a change within yourself, raise your hand. Subhanallah. Okay. What up, what up, what up? No talking in the session, all right? Inshallah. Shake my hand. Shake my hand. Assalamu alaikum. What's your name? I didn't meet you yet.
Tariq.
Tariq. Nice to meet you, Tariq. Allah bless you and your father. Ameen. You want to see a change, right? Everybody who raised your hands, and nobody, when I say this, look at them as something like less than, because a lot of you, when I asked the question, you wanted to raise your hand and you didn't. But I seen some of you go like this. I don't know if it's the right way to raise my hand or not. I seen it. So all of you who raised your hand and you wanted to see a change in others, man, I gotta tell you, man, check yourself. Straight up. Check yourself. Check yourself. Straight up, yo, check yourself. You shouldn't even be paying that much attention to the others where you can't even see their flaws. Check yourself. Straight up, yo. Especially when it comes to your other brothers and sisters in the deen. Check yourself, yo. Check yourself. Straight up. And for everyone who raised their hands when I asked you if you want to see a change in yourself, raise your hand again. What I'm asking is, if you want to see a change in yourself, why did you ever change, yo? Why'd you ever change? If I asked you that question 10 years ago, you wouldn't have raised your hand. If I asked you that question when you was a baby boy, you wouldn't have raised your hand. They don't even know what I'm talking about. Little bro, you want to see a change within yourself? Yeah? What change? You don't know. Come here, man. That's another one for you, mashallah. I don't want them two back there to be feeling some kind of way. I gave you two, share one with him behind you, inshallah. Yeah, he didn't have one. Right? So he don't know, bro. He don't know, bro. If I asked you that question when you was a baby boy, you would have no idea, bro. You'd be like, oh, change, I don't know. Change what? There's nothing, life is good. Yeah, life is good, mashallah. Life was good too, man. My mother fed me every single day, clean my clothes, wash my clothes. All I gotta do is wake up and live. That's it, yo. Nice life, man. It's not gonna be like that always, mashallah. Because our teachers, they told us a verse from Quran, which means that verily Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change themselves. Who heard of that? Who heard of that? Everybody heard of that. You heard of that, right? And when you hear that, most people, or at least me, when I heard that, and I'm coming from the streets, you know, I had a good education. My mom, alhamdulillah, she made sure me and my brothers could read and do math, man. Not for fake. Like, it was like, in my house, you had to be able to read and write and do arithmetic, period. Why? Because we grew up not having much. So if you can't read and you can't write and you can't do math, you're gonna be stuck in the same position for the rest of your life. So my mom made sure we could read and we could write and we could do arithmetic. Made sure. And as I got older, I stopped taking her advice. I changed. I stopped taking her advice. I thought I knew more than her. My father got killed in the streets. So I was a really bitter young man. Very, very, very bitter young man. Very, very angry, man. Very, very. You bump me in the street, don't make the mistake. Very, you know? And honestly, it was a defense mechanism. I didn't want to be like that. I'm telling you, I used to be reading Harry Potter books, bro, in my house. Yeah, black Americans, we read Harry Potter too. Dude was a legend, straight up. I'm not even joking, yo. He was a legend, yo. I'm telling you, right? But like all my boys outside, they never know I read them books. As a matter of fact, if they see this, it's probably the first time they heard about it. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the outer appearance, and then when you go home, who you really are. So when I say to you, young boy, stop fronting, I ain't telling you stop fronting because I think you fronting. I'm telling you because I already know what's up. I was just there. I just told you that. Right? But I'm telling you, sometimes I be thinking to myself, man, if I did what my mom said the whole time, I'd be straight. I'm talking about Deen and Dunya. I'm telling you, bro, not even faking, I'd be straight. I'm talking about like Hafid Quran, probably a millionaire, boom. Just listen to my mom. I'm telling you, I'd be like Deen and Dunya, boom. Cause man, she was trying to set us up so we can really succeed and really be strong men. But man, I wanted to go run with my boys, man. Y'all know what's up. And all of us were hurt and all of us were bitter. So you could imagine, right? In that kind of a climate, right? But it's funny though, because I thought to myself, I said, well, when did you get bitter? Because when I was a baby boy, man, I was happy. Baby boys are happy, man. Really, whether they're poor, in the ghetto, not in the ghetto, rich, whatever, it's all the same to them. They don't care. They don't care. Baby boys are happy. You ever see like the old, like slave movies? You see like the slave, he would play with the slave owner's son. Never see that? Right? Or in the Holocaust, right? The children who were part of the Holocaust, and then the people, the Nazis, that children, they would play together. Because children, I'm telling you, children, they got it figured out. We made it complicated. But it's funny, man. If you have this same understanding of this verse, right? Raise your hand. I didn't explain it clearly. The verse meaning that, you know, if you jacked up, that Allah is not going to change your condition until you change yourself. If you agree with that, raise your hand. I agree with this. So first, let me tell you, man, we got like this saying in the streets at home, right? It came from like a rapper, his name is Styles P. He used to say, do the same thing, get the same results. Straight up. I'm a Muslim and I'm practicing now, so I can't take the rest of the verse. But the first piece of the verse, I can take it, right? Do the same thing, get the same results, bro. So you're saying you want to be like this, but everything that you're doing take you over here. And then you keep saying, I want to be like this. I want to be like this. But what you do goes this, boom. And then you say again, I want to be like this. I want to be like this. And then what you do, boom. I want to be like this. I want to be like this. Then what you do, boom, 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 hellfire. Do the same thing, get the same results, bro. You do the same thing as the Kafirs, you get the same result as the Kafirs. Straight up. So don't get tricked out here in the West, bro. Straight up. But it's funny. One day I came to Juma, and man, it was like a rough time in my life. Imam Amin was on the minbar, and I used to be like a little like, well, I'm still, I guess, kind of like this. He's the imam, you know how you go around the imam, and it's kind of like you say what you need to say, but you don't say too much. Nobody else, nah. No, really, it's not like that here. Like the imam walks in, like, man, Imam Amin is the man, bro. But I used to be like, I used to want to say some real stuff to him, but then like, I don't know if my manners are good enough to kind of, like, I'm trying to get some advice, but I don't have the, the pretty religious talk yet to, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? I don't got like the, so I'm scared to kind of like just go to him like, yo, I need some advice, man, And alhamdulillah, I went to him for some advice, man. The advice he gave me, it was practical. It was something that I could do. And from following that advice over time, man, alhamdulillah, it literally changed my life, so much so to the point that I'm here with you today. So Allah bless my teacher, man, for holding it down, for Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, for Sunni Islam in the States, and making sure that some young black boys got the deen. May Allah bless him for that and give him a good ending. Ameen. One day I came into Juma, right? And I came into Juma, and he was on the minbar, and our minbar is on like 3 steps. I know some masjids, the minbar, the guy goes all the way up to, like, he's like on a whole nother floor, like, he's like, so our masjid, alhamdulillah, like 10,000 square feet. It's the biggest one in our city, but man, it's very small compared to this one though. We fit downstairs, right? So I came in, and he was talking about this verse. I really don't know any Quran at this time of my life. And he's going on about this verse, The whole khutbah was about this verse. And I remember him saying that when his teachers, right, that when they explained it to him, right, especially some of the time during when he was in Syria, they had explained this verse to him. So he gave us the first apparent meaning. We all got the apparent meaning, right? You got that? The apparent meaning? With it, boom. So take that, keep that. Ain't nothing gonna happen for you until you put that work in, until you stop going that way and come this way, period. But you take one step toward Allah, y'all know the rest of the hadith. Hadith Qudsi. I'm asking you. You take one step toward Allah, and Allah does what? No, not believers around me. Wait a second. You take one step toward Allah, and Allah does what, man? And all of those variations are good. Straight up. So this idea of change, take a step toward Allah, bro. Stop going the other way. And I'm telling you, you golden, you good. He got you. He gonna come to you. Don't even trip. Just take the first step, man. But I came in and he was talking about this verse. So I'm like, all right, you know, he's fiery. I'm like, you know, you're young, you like the fiery khutbahs. You know how it is, bro. I'm not, right? You don't really like the, all the young boys know what's up. You want to leave the khutbah and it's like, man, the khatib, man, got me feeling like, raw, like that. Y'all know what's up, man. You don't want to hear the old educational speech. I got it. What I should tell you is, if you take the time to understand that old educational speech, that fiery speech is actually going to ignite a fire in you. Really. It's the yin and the yang you have there, right? Right? You had Uthman ibn Affan, and then you had Umar, right? So don't lose yourself in that. Don't always only go for what's exciting, right? Those things that are, right? Sometime go for that thing, right, that makes you close your eyes, put your head down in shame and weep. Go for that. Go for that. Because the next time you're excited, you're going to remember when you were weeping and you'll use that energy in the right way. But he was saying, he said there's another meaning to this verse. It's another meaning. And in my mind, I'm like, nah, man, this is Quran, dog. Like, y'all know, like, one meaning, one... And he explained, his teachers had explained to him that the meaning behind it, that Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change the conditions of themselves. Yeah, it's from bad to good, but that started off from good to bad. Because in reality, every single one of us was born without a fitrah. Every single one of us were inclined to do good works and to believe in God and follow. Every single one of us, even the other human beings that are not Muslim, all the children of Adam and Eve were born with this thing. And over time, they changed. But verily, Allah will not change the condition of the people unless they change the condition of themselves. So what I got to tell you is this. The only reason why you're ready for change now is because you already changed before. That's why. So what I recommend for you and for myself is that in this change you're looking for, you're not looking for a new change. You're not looking for something new. That's not what you're looking for. You have to find it in yourself to turn back around to that fitrah that you came from and take the first step. And inshallah, by the end of our lives, may Allah will it that we be people who die on haqq. Our mothers, our fathers, the baby boys, the young boys, and all of the women, that we die on haqq. And that we accept the truth when we get the truth and do not change from the truth. And if you have changed from the truth, may Allah put it in you before your death to change back. Ameen. So, anyone has any questions? My teachers, they say that if no one has any questions at the end of your talk, one or two things. It's either everyone understood everything or no one understood anything. So if everyone understood everything, raise your hand. That's fine, really. And then if no one understood anything, raise your hand. That has to be someone like over here. Thanks for being honest, bro. Has to be someone who's just like, what is he talking about? Because I just heard like, literally like 30 mistakes. As I'm talking, I'm counting them. Like, dude, you're jacking it all up, right? So, no questions. No understanding of context. Go ahead.
What made you change?
Man, what made us change? First of all, let me tell you, is that what you see is just a form. I'm not a sheikh. I'm hardly a student of knowledge. I gotta tell you that. Right? So I don't want any of you young boys, baby boys, to think that I've arrived at some kind of point. Nah, man, I'm struggling. And I'm trying to be the best Muslim I can possibly be so I can die. I gotta tell you that first. So don't look at me as your role model or anything like that. Look up to your father. Because really, I'm not the guy to look up to. Because all you know of me is what you've seen of me in the video, and when you see these clips on YouTube, and what you see on social media when I do these events. That's it. But you don't see me in my personal life. You don't see me at home with my wife or my kids or in my community. So really, you don't know me. So I'm telling you, because you don't know me, do not look up to me. That's first. But what made us change, you know, Allah says, verily death is a reminder to the believers, right? So, man, Shadi rahimahullah, man, I got that phone call. And I was in the bed with my kids. I'm like 19, home from college. And my uncle is my big brother. When I was saying my big brother, I used to want to be like, technically that's my uncle. It's my mom's little brother, but she raised him. I got the call, and my mom always worked 2, 3, whatever. My mom, like, she's a workaholic. And my mom was like, yo, somebody said Shadi got shot, and your brother got shot, or Lavon got shot too. His name's Lavon. But the bullet almost, it wasn't bad, it just like grazed. Like, it was a couple people that got shot that night. And my cousin Shadi, he had just got released from prison. And he had a son, Shadim. It was his birthday, one of his youngest sons. And he wasn't even home for 24 hours before he had a bullet in his back. And I ran all the way from my mom's. I got that call. I literally, like, I used to play football in college, so I had on like the shorts and the shirt, like team stuff that you work out in. And my brother had his sneakers at the door, because I'm not even really living at home. I'm just home, like it's the summertime. I threw my brother's sneakers on, man. I ran all the way over there by Moe's Chicken, by Red Cloud. Red Cloud is a liquor store. And they put this liquor store, literally, it's like the most successful, sustainable business in our community, bro. And it's literally, bro, like right and smack dead in the middle of our community, man. And I'm telling you, some things that happen on that liquor store block, man, are the most horrific things, man. They even call it drunk block now. The people that are out there, they just drunk. Another guy got killed over there. Straight bullets from some young boys. Older Muslim brother. He was a drinker, but he was a Muslim brother. Young boys took his life trying to do some killing. So that place, man, Shaitan, for real, my city, man. Red Clock, the liquor store. And man, I got all the way over there, man. I seen Shah laying on the ground. He had a blue tank top on, some jean capris, man, some Barkley sneakers. And the blood, he bled internally. It didn't even come out of his chest. He had a little pool of blood, and they ain't even cover him up yet. And yeah, man, let's just say, man, it reminded me of my father so much. At that point in my life, I didn't even know I was that hurt by not having my father. I didn't even know, man. I had like just all these defense mechanisms built in so well, right, that I made myself not be hurt or fake not be hurt. When it happened to him, and then I see the faces of his sons, I'm like, nah, man, we gotta stop dying like this, man. I ain't dying like this, man. Ain't nobody taking my life in the streets out. And Shah died for what he believed in. Shah died protecting his family, protecting his little sister, protecting our name. And I pray that Allah reward him for that. And that he forgive him for all of his sins and all of his shortcomings and all the mistakes he made. And I'm praying that we reconnect at the house of the Prophet, and that we be in Jannah together. Rasulullah. Another question. What's up?
Two questions, sorry.
MashaAllah.
When I met you there, you said it was an emotional, when you came, it was the first time you came out of the...
Yeah, out of the country, yeah.
So you're going to tell, I said if you could touch that in the...
Okay, so that's the first one.
Second one, what happened to your father? Are you allowed to talk about it, or...?
Yeah, MashaAllah. So okay, I'll answer them both together. When I came in, the brother was asking me, you know, first time to England, yada yada. I said, yeah, bro, this is my first time out of the country. I've been to Canada recently. And in Canada, that was my technical first time out of the country. 27 years old, never even been out of that place, right? And in Canada, but it's on the same landslide. So for us, whenever you say overseas at home, you're thinking about the Islamic world. Because all the brothers trying to get overseas to study. Y'all know what's up. It's the same. Like, man, I'm trying to go overseas, you know? And all of you young boys, let me tell you, man, really, man, the knowledge is right here where you at. You don't have to go overseas anymore to learn. If you are going overseas, you're going overseas to get some realities, to actually see the deen practice in society. But as far as the actual knowledge of the religion, the knowledge is right here. You ain't got to go nowhere for that. And I'm telling you, if you want to go overseas and study, put yourself together first, right? Like raw wax. I was telling them this the other day. It's like raw wax. Right now, you're like raw wax. You can go over there and let them form you as a candle, or you can get the candle formed here and go over there and be ready to be lit. So for me, this is my first time overseas, right? And man, I really feel like they tricked us in that country, man. I gotta be real with y'all, bro. I really, really feel like they tricked us in that country, man. They duped us, man. And I'm a part of the people who have a conscious mind, right? I'm down with the people that's like, you gotta change, bro. We gotta do better, bro. We gotta do this, we gotta do that. I get out of the country, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wow. There's so much I didn't even know existed, right? I'm talking to other people about black Americans and this and that. No one even knows what happened. And to me, I'm like, how do you not know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. The crack era, that's what happened. You heard of crack cocaine? Who heard of crack cocaine? You heard of crack cocaine, right? Who heard that was a political conspiracy from the president down, crack cocaine getting into the American streets? Who know about that? Only a few. I ain't surprised. I'm telling you. I'm asking this for a reason because I know most people don't know. After you get past the tagline, after that, you really don't know. And I get that, so I'm going to tell you. My parents, they were born in the late 60s and in the early 70s. When I say my parents, I mean the parents of my generation. So not just my mom and my dad. I mean all of the parents of all the people in my generation. This is the age group. They grew up in poverty for real, bro. Not for fake. Their parents, a little different than your parents. Their parents didn't have an education and they weren't given the opportunity to work. Two things. No education and no one helped them to put bread on the plate. So for a long time, many of the black Americans, all they had was crime. So much so that growing up, we didn't even think that crime was wrong if it was for a right reason. Don't take that approach. Don't take that approach. But for a lot of us growing up, I never seen nothing wrong with nobody selling drugs. I never seen nothing wrong with nobody killing. Somebody get killed, it's like, yo, well, what'd he do? Well, that was his fault then. You see how twisted we are? How desensitized we are to murder? It's really like someone gets murdered, before you say, oh man, first thing you ask is, well, what did he do? To see if he deserved it or not. Who are you to say if a man deserved to get God or not? Right? So for our parents, my father, my father never had his father. His name was Roosevelt. I believe his last name was Bishop. 100% sure. I never met the man. Never met the man, really. And my father hardly ever even spent time with the man. And my aunt Francine, never met the man. Seen him a little bit here and there. Lived in the same city as them, literally. Lived in the same city. His father's name Montgomery. And I come to find out that I got cousins. I didn't even know my cousins because I was separated. We're so separated. You dig what I'm saying? So my father, he grew up, my grandma, her name is Augusta. They from the South. They called the Gussie. We called the grandma Gussie. So grandma Gussie raised my father on her own, man. She had some struggles, man. No education and nobody helping out. So my father was a real young boy, young lad, that's how I said, right? When he got into the streets. Young boy, baby boy. So short. So short. Not even tall enough to play the basketball team before my father got in the streets. Little boy. And not because he was trying to be a gangster. This is before you know about Jay-Z. My father's who Jay-Z wants to be like, is what I'm trying to give you. This is before the whole hip hop culture. This is before it became cool to rap about it. This is when they were doing it and they were telling no one about it. Right? And long story short, this became his career. Only job he ever had. Really. Only job he ever had. he went to prison and he became like not a chef, because you have to go to like culinary school for a certain amount of time to actually become a technical chef. But he went to prison, and in the school in the prison he learned how to cook. So it was something that he loved to do. The only occupation he ever had was that he sold drugs. My father took Shahada, he was like 10, 11 years old, from Uncle Hamid. My father's name is Jerome Miller, Jerome Roosevelt Miller, after his father, and one of my older cousins named Jerome. And he took Shahada, and Uncle Hamid named him Ali, right? He named him Ali. He said, I'm naming you Ali because you're like Ali ibn Abi Talib, you're a young warrior, right? And a part of the second part of the question is, for many of you, right? How many of you understand, how many of you see sometime in your culture where your culture will override the religion? Straight up, not like, come on, like we don't know, right? So for the Black American, we ain't got no culture, bro. We the descendants of slaves. How many Africans in the room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Real quick. What country you from? No, one at a time. Nassim.
Ancestry, obviously Africa, but Jamaica and Barbados.
Oh, Jamaica and Barbados, mashallah. Slave trade while you got there though. Word up. I'd be like, I'm American, but yeah, slave trade while I got there though. We came on a boat. Right? Back there, where you from Africa? Somalia. Where you from Africa? Uganda. My man back there, where you from Africa? Ghana. Oh, Ghana is beautiful, bro. Sheesh. Man, I'm telling you, I really want to see this place one day, man. I don't think the pictures are going to help me. I think I got to get there. My man sitting next to me, where you from? Somalia. Anybody else in here from Africa, from a different place that was mentioned today, just now? If you here, represent where you from, represent your country. That's it. Right? The reason why I'm telling this to you, right, and we're going to do something, because the majority of my brown brothers here from the East, they look at you just like black. Right? Straight up. That's it, how it is. And the thing is, there's racism in Islam, you know. That's not fake. And it's up to us to change that. But it exists, you know, so we don't have to be shy about that, right? So, but for me, let's keep it real. Do you look at yourself like a Black American?
In terms of, in what way?
In terms of, yo, where you from? Where you from? Answer the question. Jamaica. Yo, you look at yourself like a Black American or a Black Westerner?
No.
How you look at yourself? Like you what? Ugandan. And you black or you what?
Ghanaian.
He's Ghanaian. And him, you black or you what? He's Somalian. You got me? All of my boys, all the black people I know, you ask them where they from, they gonna name their hood. I'm from the Heights, bro. I'm from Atlantic City, New Jersey, off the 4300 block, East Coast of America. That's where I'm from. I hear somebody talking while I'm talking, don't do that. That's where I'm from. You don't see the problem in that? My hood can't give me no culture, bro. It don't even belong to me. The whole thing belongs to somebody else. And we fight for it and die for the name. Just to run this block, run these playgrounds, run these set of apartments. That's all we got. That's all we got. Is our hood and our name. That's it, B. That's all we got. We ain't got nothing else. And we'll die for that. Here's the problem. Y'all know how y'all go home on holidays? You know how y'all go back to the country? Or you know how you working here now doing what you gotta do to go back home and make it better? It ain't no back home for us, man. We ain't got no back home. My back home is the block I grew up on, 4300 block, the drive. That's back home for me. I don't know my language, know nothing. I know English, bro. The little bit of Spanish they taught me at primary school, and Arabic is important now because of religion. That's it. That's what happened to the blacks in America. They cut us off. They cut us off. They cut us off from our land, from our country, and who we were. But more importantly, they cut us off from our connection to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They cut us off. Because in your family, how many people Muslims?
Just the immediate.
Just the immediate. Oh, subhanAllah. It's like that a lot in the States. MashaAllah. How about you?
Pretty much everyone.
Pretty much everyone. MashaAllah. Your father's Muslim? His father's Muslim? His father's Muslim? Yeah. How about you? Your father Muslim?
Yeah, but just immediate.
Just immediate, mashallah. But in Ghana, they have a big Christian population too, right? 50-50. So whoever's not Muslim, they're Christian. So you have that. But they're either Muslim or Christian. But no atheists, no, none of that. You're either, alhamdulillah. So the da'wah is simple. You just have to get them off of Christianity, right? No, yo, you laughing. But dude, like, that ain't, I'm saying, they already, look, bro. They already believing, right? Well, they're not believing. But they're already conscious about a religion, about a set practice. All you have to do is explain to them what's real about Isa alayhi salam, Maryam, like you have to break these things down for them so they start calling Jesus God. But once you get past all of that though, it's not that hard to get them over because they already have a conscious mind. You know what I mean? And in your country, that 50-50, they don't fight that much. Nah, it's like a respect. So it is what it is, right? Cool. How about you? Everyone. I just told y'all, my parents became Muslims in the 80s, bro. My dad don't even know his dad like that. Straight up. Straight up. I'm second generation Muslim. My kids is third. What generation Muslim are you? You don't even know. 100th, 200th, I don't know. Right? What generation Muslim are you?
My dad's Muslim, the second.
Oh, he was born a Christian.
Yeah.
And Takbir. Takbir. Alhamdulillah, Allah bless your father, man. MashaAllah. So the point that I'm making to you all is this. What happened to the blacks in America, I'm telling you, they treated us in a way, and they still treat us in a way where we are literally the black market business of America. The black man. And when our parents got the deen, and when they got to the point where they understood the deen correctly, Islam became our culture. Islamic jurisprudence became our culture, bro. That's all we got is Islam. We ain't got nothing else. We ain't got education, we ain't got money, and we ain't got land. All we got is this deen. That's why for a lot of us, when we look at the people that come from the East, we say, yo, why you playing games with the religion like that? He don't know what he got. Then I travel, I say, oh snap, nah, he really don't know what he got. Why? Because of the culture. And that's okay. It's not a bad thing. Represent your culture well. Be happy for your forefathers that you have a culture. Be happy that you can say, I'm Pakistani, I'm Bengali. Be happy, yo. Because I gotta tell you, man, there's something inside of me, man, that I wish I could say. I'm Somalian, I'm Ethiopian, I'm Nubian. I wish. My father and my mother, they wish the same thing. So my father, alhamdulillah, I was born in 1990. My father had went to jail in May 1990. Little state beef, not no big federale joint, just a little state beef, right? So he got money, good lawyer, the whole nine. So that was May. By February next year, he right back home. I was born in April, so what that make me 10 months? So I'm 10 months. So in 1 month, my dad go to jail. I'm 10 months, he reconnected with me. But then that very same August, which would make me, 2 more months, 12 to April, my birthday, August is 4, that's 16. That would make me, and he died on August 11th. I was born April 11th. So he literally died 16 months after I was born. And we only had like 8 months together. My father was a real man. My father ain't play no games, bro. And yeah, what he was doing was wrong, but the intention was good, and I pray that Allah forgive him for his sins and have mercy on him in that grave. Ameen. Because you know what my father did? Before that man put that bullet in his head because he was scared of him? He named me Ibn Ali. That's what he did. That's all he left me was the dean. He ain't leave me nothing else. Not no inheritance. Not no land. He ain't even leave me with no instructions. He ain't had no instructions. But I grew up knowing, you know what? I'm the son of Ali. That's who I am. I'm Ali's boy. And when I was a young man, I used to want to be like my dad. From all these stories, you know, in the hood, they glamorize the guy with the money. They glamorize the guy with the money, y'all know. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna be like my dad. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, do this, do that. I know my mom want me to be good, but I want to be like my dad. I was 21. I'm at my crib, got a house. Alhamdulillah, my wife is there, my kids there, my boys is there. It's my birthday, we having a good time. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. I'm in a point in my life where it's like, man, we good. I did better than everybody in my age group. Really, I'm straight. And I remember thinking, my dad got killed when he was 20 years old. And in my mind, I'm like, hold up. No. Because all my life, I thought of my father, I thought of a larger than life figure. You know? How you supposed to look at your father. But sometimes you don't appreciate what you have in front of you. You don't miss a thing till it's gone. So by me never having my father, I always appreciated him much. And whatever I could hear about him, whatever I could learn about him, whatever I would get to know about him. And I was 21 years old and I had already lived a longer life than he had. And at 21, I felt young. I was mature and all of that, and you know, I had a family and all of that, but I literally, I don't have that feeling of youth in me anymore. I know I'm still young, but that actual feeling of feeling young at 21, yeah, I would have played basketball all day long still. Really, I could have ran 10 miles, not even thinking about it. What's up, right? Drive to New York, drive back home, drive back to New York again all in one day. 6, 7, 8 hours driving, no problem, right? And to me, I said, Dag, man, how many of y'all 20 years old? Anybody 20? Stand up if you 20. Real quick, stand up if you 20. Everybody look at them. Take a look at them. Man, they baby boys. I gotta tell you, man, his hair is not fully grown in yet. Right? I don't know, he's still studying university maybe, right? Maybe he wants to be imam, but everyone here is still dreaming. If you're 20 years old, how many of you still thinking about your future? You thinking about your future? If you think about your future, raise your hand, 20-year-old. You thinking about your future? Yeah. Life's just beginning, yeah or no? Thinking about getting married? Nah, not yet, later on. You thinking about it though. Let me take a seat. My father was 20 years old when he died. 20 years old, man, baby boy. And for me, I'm thinking to myself, no, man. Then I'm thinking about Shadi, rahimahullah. I'm thinking about his kids, I'm thinking about my dad, I'm 21, I'm like, no, man, this ain't it. How I'm 21, I already lived longer than my dad lived. He was a kid when he died. Baby boy. And I'm telling you, man, from that point on, I started to look at my father and say, all right, well, what did he want out of his life? What did he want out of a future? What did he see himself as 25, 30? Because trust me, those young boys that's in them streets, they don't see themselves in the streets, man. They only in the streets like that. They figure like this, I'm stuck here. They ain't trying to educate me. They ain't trying to put me on so I can get some real money and be independent. They want me to be a slave, period. Straight like that. The jobs, the jails, the schools, period. And I ain't going for that. So I'm gonna go all the way in the streets so I can get all the way out the streets. That's the mentality. Go all the way in so I can get all the way out. So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, well, what did my dad want? What did this man want? He had to want something. So at 21, man, I wanted the world, bro. Like, I got talking about dreams. I'm dreaming now. I'm dreaming again now. I'll be honest with you. Allah is really showing me something in my life. But man, at 21, man, ask me what I wanted to be. Ask me. Say, what you wanted to be when you was 21, Ali? Ask me.
Where do you want to be when you're...
I can't tell you. I wanted to be it though, right? And doing some research. A little time after that, my mother, she had gave me a group of letters that my father had wrote to her while he was in prison. And in this group of letters that he had wrote to my mother, he explicitly explained to my mother that we were going to live the deen. He explicitly explained to my mother that my boy would be a Muslim. One time, I got one of the letters he sent my mother. He was so excited. He had learned a verse of Quran. He learned a verse of Quran. He wanted her to learn his verse so bad. He was so happy. And he sent it to her in his letter from prison. And I read the verse and it said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Man, I ain't need nothing else. I said, man, my dad want me to be Muslim. I'm Muslim. Not by name, because I'm Ali. Nah, man, I'm going to the masjid this Friday. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to pray. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stop running around with my boys all the time. I'm going to get myself together, do what my mom want me to do, get back in college, man, be clean. I'm going to do what I need to do. And alhamdulillah, Allah has really, really helped us in that. Really, really helped us in that. And the biggest differences that I see in the UK and in America, because this is the West. When you say the West, you're talking about all of this and all of that. You ain't no separating that when we talk about the West, right? But the difference, the major difference, at least for me, and it's probably because what I'm paying most attention to, the major difference here, I'm telling you, is the race relations. At home, I never met an Asian gangster. We back in London, Omar, right? We back in London, y'all, right? So, we coming from Birmingham. I told him, take me to the hood. I got to see it. Even when I first got off the plane, got to London, I said, take me to the hood. I got to see it. They took me to East London. I said, this ain't the hood. They said, man, this is worse than London you gonna get. I said, nah, man, this is nice. This is like some upscale living over here, right? And then I get to Birmingham, where it's a little bit more, y'all know Birmingham, right? They feel like that too, that's no joke, you know what I'm saying? Take me to the hood, please. Let me see some poor people. Because for me, it ain't about black, it ain't about white, it ain't about brown, bro. It's about who poor and who's not. I stand for poor people. And I want to connect with poor people all around this earth. Because hungry is hungry. I don't care what you look like. Hungry is hungry. Straight up. So I'm like, yo, take me to the hood so I can connect with my people, with these poor people. I just want to see them show some love. And then at home, I can take a picture, some videos, show my people, yo, look, there's other poor people around the world. It ain't that bad. We just got to work harder. Then I get here, they take me to Birmingham, and they take me saying, this ain't the hood. This ain't the hood. So then I think to myself, I'm trying to tell my people at home it ain't that bad, and then I find out, oh snap, at home it's that bad. Straight up. Man, you ain't seen nothing like an American ghetto, bro. I seen the little dudes selling their little weed and stuff, I seen them. I even seen a couple dudes selling some other harder drugs. I seen them. I went to the spots, I'm telling you, I walked through. And O could tell you, we ain't go through with nobody. I took Omar with me. Omar live in London in the nice part. Really, his house has a beautiful view. I gotta tell you, I was like amazed by the view off that balcony. Really. I had Omar with me, yo. I brought Carl and his little brother with me. Us four going through the hood. And they with me. I hardly understand anybody saying. Word up. I'm dead serious, yo. Word up. Lads. I'm telling you. And you know, like in London, your tongue, the slang is a little bit different than down there in Birmingham. It's almost like we all speaking English, but we all speaking a different English, bro. Straight up, yo. They drag the words. You kind of can't get it out unless you gotta wait until you get the whole thing and just try to see what they meant. You know what I'm saying? That's no disrespect to Birmingham. I love it, really, man. I'm having a great time there, man. We gotta even drive back there tonight. And when I'm there though, I'm realizing, I said, nah, man, this idea of an American ghetto, right? Because when I went to Canada, I said, take me to the hood. The hood was all Somalians, right? It was Somalians, they had a couple others that, right? I said, oh, this ain't the hood either, right? I went to another spot in Birmingham, went to the hood, right? A couple Africans, it's an Asian hood though. It was weird. I was like, Pakistanis be gangsters? It was so weird to me, man. I'm telling you. Yo, but he was a gangster. Not joking, he really was a gangster. And after I talked to the man, got to know the man, I respected his gangster. He really was, right? So I said, oh snap. It blew my mind away. I didn't even know that happened. Like in the States, it's different. You don't have that, you don't have that in the States. Maybe a few places, a couple people trying to get really, indoctrinated into the culture. A couple young boys trying to be bad boys, but not whole neighborhoods though. I was like, oh snap, right? And still, I was like, yo, this is a cupcake walk. Really, this ain't nothing, yo. I know some boys who will come here and take over your whole community by themselves. Straight up, yo, without a gun, with their fist. Come take your whole community, yo. Not even thinking about it. Your hood, your block, your whole crew, one man with his fist. I know some guys like that, straight up, yo.
I think what you're looking for was in Brixton.
Yeah. It ain't that bad, man. Yeah. And they were telling me like, yeah, this is it. I was like, yeah. Right? Not dissing them. I'm making a bigger point here. Check it out. Last night, it was on Soho Road in Birmingham. It was a mass shit over there, the Abrahamic Foundation. I believe that was it, right? So I'm in there, I'm explaining to them this, because it's something important for me, man, to break this stuff down between the Muslims. Look, everybody else ain't gonna get this. I got that. But this is for us, because we gotta break this stuff down, y'all. Because some of y'all gonna live a life, right? You're trying to be a doctor, a lawyer, accountant, this or that. Guess what? You're gonna make a bunch of money. You ain't gonna have time for religion. Straight up. Doctors ain't got time, bro. They make a lot of money and they spend a lot of time working, long hours. That's not fake. But in any place you in, the poor people are the people who have the time to sit in the musalla and learn the religion. So we gotta start following the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ a little bit better, where the rich supports the poor. So that the poor can learn and spread the religion. And the rich will get the reward for anything that they do. If you ain't trying to be a student of knowledge, then make your intention that whatever you gonna do is gonna support a student of knowledge. Straight up, one or the other. Be the student or support the student. Anything outside of that, you in the wrong. Be the student, and if you're the student, don't be shy, be supportive, spend your time, get this knowledge. Get this knowledge. Don't feel degraded. I made that mistake in my life. I had a time to really learn this Islamic knowledge, bro. I had a chance, man. Like, I really had a real chance, man, to really get it. Like full time, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, shiyuk, loaded everything. I had 4 or 5 teachers the whole 9, ready to go. And man, I just couldn't, it wasn't, we ain't grow up letting people support us. You're less of a man if somebody's supporting you. I'm a baby boy, but I got a family, and I came up a certain kind of way, so I'm like, nah, man, ain't nobody support me, I support myself. But you can't get money and learn, it don't work that way. So I realize it now. We was at the Abrahamic Foundation, young boy he was from Africa as well. I didn't get it, you know what, he was from Sudan. He asked me a question. He said, could you give us some, I don't have the exact wording, but in context what he was saying was, really, I don't understand why a lot of the Asian kids here think they have it bad. He said, because at home, where I grew up, we ain't have no running water. I said, whoa, you ain't heard me. How many of y'all ever went a day without running water? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. I haven't. I had running water. We from the bottom in the country. And I had running water every single day of my life. And only 3 of us, out of more brothers came in, it's like 200 brothers in here right now. Only 3 of us ever experienced what it's like to live in a place where you don't got running water. You learn that rule of tayammum. You know how you learn that rule? It ain't that real till you got to do it. You ain't catch that. right? You learn that rule, right, of that dry evolution, but it ain't that real. That's the only evolution you got. So you got to clean yourself to pray for God. I'm thinking to myself, so I gave him the floor. I said, explain to me more, please. Please, man, explain to me more, bro. He started going in about it. And in that context, I said, oh, snap, bro, the American ghetto ain't that bad. I'm telling you, this joint over here in London, Birmingham, Manchester, Leicester, Scotland, Wales, it ain't nothing like no American ghettos. Even up there in the north where they got poverty at, it ain't like no American ghetto. But let me tell you something, yo. The American ghetto, it ain't nothing like some of them places in Africa. It ain't nothing like some of the places in Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago. It ain't nothing like that. Like Haiti, it ain't nothing like that. Nah, ain't them poor people in Pakistan. I ain't talking about the ones who on the, you know, on the good side of the politics, right? Right? The poor people at the bottom, real bottom. Ain't nothing like that in American ghettos, bro. So now I'm thinking to myself, I said, oh snap, man, they tricked us two ways. One, really, bro, don't nobody know what happened to us in that country. Really. The one guy in that same saying said the last black American Muslim that he heard speak in public was Malcolm X. I said, what? There's been like hundreds of people in between him and me, right? To go give dawah of this deen, to spread. I'm like, dang, man. And I thought about how much he couldn't know because how different Malcolm X is from all of us. So this context that I'm telling you about is this. Poor people everywhere gotta band together. Because the psychological influence of being on the bottom of a society, it's the same everywhere. Because that dude in Brixton, or Brixton, how you say it? I think they different places, Bristol and Brixton. They different, right? Brixton. All right, yeah, we was Brixton, right? So my man's from Brixton. He feel the same way them black American ghetto boys do, man. My man in that hut in Africa, they all feel the same way too. Cause being on the bottom of a society is the same everywhere. Yeah, your bottom is a little bit better than my bottom. And yeah, my bottom is a little bit better than their bottom. But it's the bottom of a society nonetheless. And I'm gonna end up soon. I know I'm taking everybody's time. It's Friday night. Y'all got important stuff to do. I get it. You got somewhere to be on a Friday night. Okay. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he received the revelation from God, he took it to the bottom. Muhammad ibn Abdullah, he took it to the bottom. He ain't forget about us. As a matter of fact, he came and got us personally. Personally came to the bottom and got us. Yeah, and Nabi. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He personally came to the bottom and came and got us. So my question is, all of y'all follow the sunnah, right? Y'all follow the sunnah, right? You say you do. When the last time you been to the bottom and gave a dawah? That's the first place he took it. Before he went to the kings. Before he sent them all out to go to them other people. When he went to Heraclius, went to the king of Persia and he ripped the letter up. Before all of that, he went to the bottom. And now everybody want to give dawah and you skipping the bottom. You skipping the bottom. When in reality, the dawah going to start at the bottom. And it's going to take us all the way to the top. And that's Jannah. And guess what? Those people at the bottom, man, they would die for this religion. You want to know why? Because we used to be ready to die for food. You ain't catch that. Them people at the bottom, we ain't worried about the West. I could care less. I know what the West think about me. I'm a black man. I get it. I could care less about that. I die on this belief. I die in these clothes. No problem. No problem. No problem. I ain't cutting my beard. I ain't putting on no khakis and no plaid shirt either. And I ain't asking for their acceptance either. We from the bottom. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to all of those people that he led the religion to, and they gave it to, and they gave it to, and they gave it to, and they came and got us. So in context, all the way around the board, what happened to my father happened to the majority of young black men in his age group. Those of them who didn't get killed, they went to the prisons. Some of them still in the prisons and been there our whole lives and ain't never coming home. The biggest difference, America, UK, is what the bottom is. For me, what I've seen is, oh snap, whatever the bottom is affecting the people the same way wherever the bottom is. Why? Because whatever the bottom is, right, the top is different too. So a man in Africa who seems to be the top of the society, make him in be an average, mediocre cat. Average, mediocre cat. Average, mediocre cat. Same way, rich man come over here to London, he an average, mediocre cat. Straight like that. You know, $1,000 in pounds, you know, 1,000 pounds, I take that back to the States, that's like $1,500. That thing go up like 50%, you know that, right? Your money way stronger than an American dollar. So your bottom ain't as worse as our bottom is. You get it. You get it. So, whatever y'all do, man, it's important. You got any love for me, man, forget if you got love for me, man. If you got love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, real love, not just that talking love. Not just that love, I'm a Muslim because my dad is Muslim love. Not just I come to Juma every Friday kind of Muslim love. If you really got that love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then please, yo, please help the Muslims on the bottom. And I pray that Allah rewards you for that, and let all of you rejoice in the harmony with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the top in Jannah. Ameen. Ameen. Allahu Akbar.